Whew. Hey everyone, welcome to another Bob-Boom Talk. This is Bob. I'm going to talk to you about two things. I'm going to talk to you about MOBAs, which is a type of video game genre, and I'm also going to talk to you about the newest video game, Fallout. I do understand that there are a few video game chats on my channel, and if you're not okay with that, sorry. I don't want to talk about politics, I don't want to talk about religion, and I don't want to talk about feminism or any other kind of stupid crap going on in the world that never really changes. But video games are something that I know, and I'm going to talk to you about these two things in this chat. So if you don't know what a MOBA is I'm going to call it loosely a strategy game where competitively you and other players fight against other players in a destroy your base combat kind of game. It's all done from a top-down real-time strategy perspective. A good example would be things like StarCraft or Diablo, things like that. Everything's very top-down. You're not necessarily looking through the character's eyes or anything like that. And in these MOBAs, there are usually roles that characters can play as or people can play as. You know, you have support, which is usually really good at healing, buffs, things like that. You have tanky people. They're really good at taking damage, you know, initiating fights and going in there and protecting everybody. Then you have your DPS people, which is damage per second people, who are usually your mages and things like that, or even like your really fast attacking samurais and stuff like that. Those are your DPS people. Usually they're kind of squishier, kind of softer and not as tough as the tanky people, but they do a lot of damage. So you can call them like a glass cannon. And the thing is that with MOBAs that there's usually just a lot of stuff in them. There's like, with the most famous that I'm sure everyone's going to think of in their head would be League of Legends, the more casual MOBA that's out on the market right now. And the thing that bothers me with League of Legends, even though I am still a League of Legends player, not really because I enjoy it, mainly because I play with friends, is that it's unbalanced. A lot of MOBAs are unbalanced, and they can't really help that. There's a lot of items to think about. There's a lot of different characters and abilities to think about. There's a lot of different map aspects to think about. Like different things on the map could change how one side interacts with another. Like maybe one side might be a little bit stronger than the other and things like that. It's a really strong teeter-totter. There's no way to exactly balance these games perfectly, and I understand that. But when you have a game where you're like, wow, man, all of these characters and stuff have very unique abilities, all of them can do all these different things, and all of them act differently, and you can build them in different ways. When it comes down to it, there's not really a whole lot of change with those roles or anything. All the magic caster people all buy the same stuff. All of the tanky people all buy the same stuff. And especially the DPS, like really like hard hitting people that do like lots of attack damage and critical hits and stuff like that. All of them tend to build the same too. There's never really variations in any of this. And it gets to the point where late into the game, when everyone's kind of max level and everyone's almost finished their build and everyone's got plenty of kills and deaths and all this other kind of stuff, that all of the classes kind of just blend together. All right, he's got a lot of magic power, he's got a lot of attack power, and then finally when you get to the glass cannons of AD carry, all they ever do is buy the same stuff. The attack damage carry. They all buy the same stuff. They all buy critical items. They all buy attack speed items. They all buy attack damage items. And then it's usually all the same items. and that never changes. Your skills don't even matter at that point when you're an AD carry, because you have so much attack damage and so much crit that the objective of that character that you picked is now just to stand there and auto attack things. None of your skills as that character matter. Most characters in MOBAs tend to at least have 4 skills. I've seen some have 2, some of the others being passives. I've seen some have even 8 different skills. And there's ones with even more. I mean, you could look at Invoker from Dota 2 and just be like, wow, I swear, go on YouTube right now and look at Invoker on Dota 2. It's probably one of the hardest MOBA characters ever to master. And if you've never really played a MOBA, you're years away from understanding how complex that character is. But I digress. The point of having skills in a MOBA for your character is to not only add variation in gameplay, but it's also to add, I guess, the character's uniqueness and stuff like that to keep them separated from all the other characters. So they're not just generic clones of other characters. So they have different play styles, you know? Like this one mage may do a lot of DPS just like that other mage, but their spells may be used completely differently. So their play style is different. But when it comes to late game with the AD carries, like I said, the skills don't matter because all that matters as an AD carry late game is your attack speed and crit chance. And crit chance, a lot of people just don't understand that it's not a skill. Crit chance will never be a skill. That's about as skillful as rolling a 20-sided dice and it landing on 20 and then someone's like, hey, wow, man, you did a really good roll. Good job for you. You are an awesome dice roller. No. I mean, sure, good job. Great, you rolled a 20, but you didn't actually plan on rolling that 20. Now, imagine if there was a character out there that, let's say, did a critical hit 80% of the time. And then that person all of a sudden just starts train rolling over everybody on the opposite team. And you're like, wow, man, that character's got a lot of skill. That's not really skill, though, is it? The character's just standing there and auto-attacking. I wish that there was a MOBA out there that didn't have AD carry champs or anything that revolved around you just auto-attacking all the time. I don't like stuff like that because not only does it make your character's abilities and you as a player and your skill usually kind of bad, I don't know, it's just boring. It's boring having the whole attack damage thing, and then you have to make sure to keep that character alive all match because they're the one that's going to be doing most of the damage to everybody. I don't want to babysit some AD carry. My skills and my skill set with my character and how good I am should be able to keep me and the whole team alive. I shouldn't have to worry about this glass cannon character just so they can go in there and auto attack some people. Sure, some of them might have a move that can stun. Some of them might have a move that can help them get away or get into a fight faster. But that's about it. It's usually like some type of dash, some type of roll, some type of who knows, an invisibility move. You know, there's quite a few champs out there, for examples, and trust me, I really don't want to keep using League as an example. You know, there are just so many of them that are just outright boring when you get to late game because they all just do the exact same thing. They're all built the exact same way. None of them change in playstyle. It's always just some get in, get out method and make sure to do as much damage as possible, and that's it. That's all you do with those characters. And it kind of ruins the MOBA experience because now you're taking away the real-time strategy aspect because there is no strategy besides keeping that character alive. And then you're also null and voiding their skill set. You're also null and voiding their skill set because obviously, sorry, that was my phone. Well, what's the point? What's the point of having a character that's just going to stand there and do nothing other than auto attack? Just stand there, auto attack, stand there, auto attack. No, I don't care about that. That's not a good play style. And don't tell me that that just doesn't work for you, Bob. That just doesn't work for you. You just don't understand. You just don't like it and blah blah blah. Maybe you're bad at it. No, I'm pretty decent at it. I'm not the best at it, but I can definitely hold my own. And I'm telling you that it is boring as hell to do nothing but stand there and auto attack. Don't get me wrong. I like seeing all the large crits and the large numbers and people being dropped really fast and all this other kind of stuff. But there's no other skill or what's another word that I'm looking for? Or any other reason for them to exist other than for them to be glass cannons. And it's, I want it to stop. I'm tired of this whole get kills fast thing. And then tons of other MOBA people are supporting that shit too. They're just like, oh yeah, man, we need more AD carry types and stuff like that. No, you don't. You're all going to build the same way. It doesn't matter if they come out with some champ or character or tune or god, whatever the hell you want to call it, depending on whatever game that you play. that ever is going to change how you build any of those AD characters. It doesn't matter what their skill set's going to be. You're going to build the exact same shit and play the exact same way with every single other ADC character. All right, here's the next thing. Fallout 4. Now, I pirated Fallout 4. I'm going to be honest here, because if you've paid attention to my channel and you've listened to previous things that I've said about Fallout 4, or not Fallout 4, but video games just in general, no one ever makes demos anymore. No one ever lets you try things out. Everything's just all hype. Oh, how is it possible that Fallout 4 could be bad? I mean, there's just so many awesome things about it and blah, 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 blah. And here I am pirating it and watching other people play it because, geez, I may not experience every bug that some other people experience, and boy, there's just some terrible bugs that still just haven't been fixed. Fallout 4, in case you haven't noticed, has been in about 7 years of development. 7 years of development. That's a long time for a video game to be made. From scratch all the way up to release. That's a long time. And to see that Bethesda has given zero shits about fixing a lot of issues with Fallout 3 and decide to let them lay over into Fallout 4 tells me that they're not making a good experience. I was bored. I still am bored. It's not so much the entire game. There are some aspects of the game that can be fun and interesting. Like you find this new gun, you're like, wow, how can I customize this? I wonder all the cool attachments I could put on it. Fine and dandy, that's fun. You make a cool gun and you kill stuff with it, whatever. Tell me why almost every raider has a gun. Tell me why almost every single thing needs to be this gunfight with hit markers and stuff like that. It feels so much more like they try to appease the FPS market this time around than what they did with the previous Fallouts, which were more of the RPG aspects. And then, speaking of RPG aspects, one of the great things about RPGs, role-playing games, is the dialogue, the story, the interesting characters, the settings and everything. All of it was just so bland this time around. All right, you're in Boston. Everything's all nuked and stuff like that. All right, what else can you give me? Oh, well, there's some super mutants and the Mirelurk Queen and all this other stuff. All right, fine. What else can you give me? You've done all of this before. Have you taken what you've done before and at least improved on it? No, there's still terrible AI, NPCs that constantly, and I mean within a 5-minute period, repeat the same line close to 8 times. All right? It's bad. And the AI pathing is real bad too. To see an AI, to see a character get stuck trying to walk around a fence when there's an open pathway not 3 feet away from them, 3 feet, and they still can't figure it out. They can't go around the fence. Tells me that they didn't focus on actually improving anything other than the graphics. Oh boy, the graphics, the next-gen consoles and everything. And don't get me started on the graphics, because they actually said themselves that they had to reduce what some of the graphics were going to be because, current-day consoles couldn't handle it. Fuck the consoles! Fuck consoles! Why are you worried about them? I get that you're going to get a lot more money with console people, but they absolutely offer nothing. You just told us that because of consoles, you had to hold your game and creativity back. You had to limit yourself for the sake of some bullshit console that's going to be out of date in probably, hell, now. Now it's out of date. Because there are already computer systems and other stuff out there that can run your game better than what it is now, and you choose not to develop for those because consoles held you back. And oh man, the dialogue is boring. Absolutely boring. You go into a conversation with a guy and he's like, "Oh man, dude, there's this really complicated situation and I'm just not sure how to handle it." The only options that you have are things like yes, no, maybe, I can handle it, that's your own problem. And then that's it. Those are literally the options on the screen. There's no there's whenever you select any of those options, it's hilarious to see that your main character, who is now voiced, by the way, just decides to say whatever he wants, and that's not really what you picked. So, like, if you were to say, if some guy was cursing you out and he's like, hey, you better suck my dick right now, and you just said no, if you selected no and just didn't want to start a fight just to get out of there because it's just some town drunkard or some bullshit, guess what? If you would have selected no, he'd have been like, no, fuck you, asshole. And it's like, whoa, don't get me wrong. I want to beat the shit out the drunkard too, but that's not what I selected here. That should be a whole nother chat lingo thing. Why don't you tell me the whole no, fuck you thing in the actual chat like you would have with Fallout 3 and stuff? Oh, that's right, because Fallout 3 and New Vegas actually had dialogue in it. You mean to tell me that because the main character wasn't voiced, you could actually have conversations with other characters? Like, you could actually pick really what you wanted to say and not beat around the bush with little chat dialogue, chat wheels that were obviously stolen from Mass Effect just so they can go ahead and make everything so much easier for the console people yet again. Oh, X, Y, B, A, or triangle, X, square, circle. Those are your only options in a chat until you move on to the next set of chat. That's it. All of a sudden, everyone's like, oh my god, Fallout 4 is amazing. You go on Metacritic right now, and you're going to see like a 90 out of 10, all these 9s out of 10s. The game's almost perfect, you guys. Oh, bullshit. This is day one hype bullshit. You're telling me that this game that's been in development for 7 years, you couldn't hold a higher standard? You couldn't say, wow, you guys have made millions upon millions of dollars based off the sales from your previous titles and were really expecting something better, but instead all you did was actually, quote unquote, improve on your previous engine, which, by the way, crashes a lot still and is still extremely buggy and unpolished, and you're... Oh my god, you're gonna tell me that this game is almost perfect? Fuck you. You are obviously the most dense, retarded dumbass that this industry has ever seen. Fuck you. Don't get me wrong, there's a few interesting locations, there's a few interesting things to do here, but all of this hype that's built up for Fallout 4 is ludicrous. It's stupid. It looks like a generic first-person shooter that just allows you to build your own settlements in a post-apocalyptic universe. And by the way, building your own settlements, boring as well. Because now, all you gotta do is just set up turrets and some walls, and all the raiders just immediately flow to where the turrets are. And they get killed. Wow. Such advanced AI. Not to mention the crafting is really stupid too. You could go around collecting thousands upon thousands of steel and wood and cotton or whatever the fuck else you need. And guess what? It's all just saved in a magical pocket that you'll never have to carry. By the way, carrying around stuff is extremely simple too, because it's just all extremely light now and all of it's real junk. Like, oh my god, dude, I gotta carry around 20 bottles of glue. Like, have you ever had to do that in Fallout before? Have you ever had to do that before? Hell no, you didn't have to, because you're thinking, should I carry this or should I wait for this new gun that I just found? Even though this glue may be worth a whole lot, I could really get use out of this gun. There were some decisions you had to make. You had to go through your inventory and say, I might need this for survival, or I might need this later, or this might sell more, and blah, blah, blah. Maybe I could craft something with this. No, now you literally collect everything and craft stuff with it, and all of it's useless shit. Oh my god, I can craft a chair now. I can make a sofa or a bed in this little town, and I can populate the town with these NPCs that say the same shit over and over and over and over again. Look, I'm not saying that Fallout 4 isn't going to be worth something in the long run, especially if you like modding the game and if you're looking forward to let's say more patches and things like that. But right now, out of the gate, I do not see a $60 experience. What I see right now is a bunch of, and for the people who know me with this joke, all I see are a bunch of lies here. Sweet Sweet little lies. Oh man, the Todd Howard, the game designer of Fallout, decided to say, oh, the dialogue is dynamic. Bullshit. I just went over the dialogue. It's no, yes, maybe, go away. Like that, it doesn't get more dynamic to these people. Like, this is bullshit. You are literally overhyping everything about this game and then getting tons of people to review it super highly when really it's the most average experience I've had all year. All year. I'm glad I'm not paying $60 for this. If you want to spend like $20, maybe even $30 after it's patched, go for it. But don't spend $60 on this. Don't encourage this bullshit. Go online right now and look at Fallout 4 glitches. You will find tons. And some of you are gonna defend it too, like, oh well, it's a pre-release version, and it's the review copy, and everything hasn't been patched in it and everything yet. Oh come on, did they really give a shit about patching anything with New Vegas or Fallout 3? Fuck no. Both of those games were actually developed for people with dual cores in mind. Dual cores in mind. Dual. How many people do you know have dual cores these days? Sure, that was years ago. But no one in their right mind back then even cared about dual cores because we were already moving on to quad. You know how many crashing errors were caused just because they didn't want to patch something to work with quad cores? They don't give a shit about patching stuff. They don't give two shits about actually fixing and improving their engine other than making sure that it still looks pretty and that it can still be sold on the next console market. They don't care about making a quality game. Otherwise, they wouldn't constantly be reusing assets from Fallout 3. All of it's the same shit, by the way. All the mini games are the same shit. Hacking is the same shit. Picking the words and stuff like that. Lock picking is the same shit. And there are people outright bloody bonkers over it. Like, they want more and more and more of it. Like, come on, are you serious? You just spent like $150 on the Pip-Boy edition? Have you not seen the open box version? I called this day one when they showed that shit at E3. It's nothing but a piece of plastic shit on your wrist. They don't care about quality. You just paid like an extra, what, 60, 70, maybe even $80 for a piece of shit wristwatch? It's not even, it doesn't even work on its own. You need to put in your own cell phone. You just spent that much money on a piece of plastic they probably put together for less than $5. It's a kid's toy. I can't believe this industry. I can't believe just how easy people are at being sucked in to all the hype and stuff. Why can't you just approach a game with a little bit of skepticism? Why can't you just approach a game and say, maybe that might be good, but I feel like they're pushing something just a little bit too much? I hope that all of those 9 out of 10, this is just hoping real hard. I hope all those 9 out of 10 reviews and stuff like that are blown out of the water by people who actually play the game, by people who actually spend all the hours in the game. And some of you are like, Bob, if you know me and you know me on Steam and everything, I'm pretty sure like over 300 hours in Skyrim. I played that thing to death. But it's all thanks to mods. It's all thanks to other people patching stuff that Bethesda should have been patching. It was me enjoying a broken product that had to be fixed by outsourcing. And by the way, Bethesda is going to be a bunch of assholes and charge for mods. They will charge for mods. You do realize that they're going to make people download mods through their own client. And on Steam, not that long ago, they tried to charge people for mods. Stuff that people made for free, for fun, they tried to get and influence people to start charging for. Like $1 so you can have a mod that allows you to fish. Why not pay that guy for his code and then implement it into your own game? Why the fuck are you wanting to... what's the right word for this? Why are you so fucking greedy? Why the fuck, Bethesda, why are you so fucking greedy that you can't actually take any of these good ideas, buy them out, some of the code, whatever, and put them into your actual game? Why the fuck can't you do that? No, instead, you want to do this route. You want to go this evil asshole route and start charging people for free shit. Bunch of fucking assholes. I bet they actually kept this game unpolished like that because they figured other people will fix it. I bet they actually made this game that shitty and someone sat down there and said, yeah, this is okay. This is sellable. Yeah, bro. This is totally sellable. We could sell this game like this. And Todd Howard's like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is going to be great. Like, he doesn't give a shit. You see him in interviews, he's sitting there like, oh yeah, it's going to be a great experience. I really look forward to its release. He has zero enthusiasm. Zero. Because he doesn't care. You're going to buy it and you're going to eat it up. It builds its own hype. Oh my God, it's the next Fallout. Oh. The fuck, man? I can't fathom this, man. I can't fathom how I could walk into a video game store right now, and if they were to ask me, hey, are you here to pick up Fallout 4 today? I'm like, no, man, I'm really not interested in the game. And they will look at me like, what? Really? Whoa. Yeah. Sorry, man. Have you actually paid attention to what this game has to offer? Spoiler alert, everybody. 2 endings. 2. Don't let's not forget, they had to reuse this line over and over again. War never changes. Oh, Bethesda, you bunch of fucking greedy assholes.